There's a hidden world in aviation that surpasses standard aircraft. Concealment viewed by the general public. From above the clouds, these enigmatic aircraft puzzle U.S. aviation businesses have continued to themselves occupied with attempting to various initiatives that have left individuals inquiring and contemplating, and will be pounding out the queries that everyone is inquiring about these peculiar aircraft. Come along with us as we solve the puzzle of the ostensibly alien jets in Earth's sky and the crazy new UFO aircraft. American scientists just declared the Antelope Valley has long been a center for armed forces installations and governmental contractors working in the U.S. military sector, extending from Palmdale to Lancaster. A 300-acre region in California contains the U.S. Air Force's 42nd Plan Force, combined with Northrop Skunk Works Armstrong of NASA and Grumman Boeing flying northward from the Research Center and Edwards Air Force Base are located there. A little further away is the U.S. Navy base at Chena Lake. Don't overlook the Groom Lake is an intriguing area that is almost like a magnet for anyone looking for interactions with categorized or phenomena from space. Among these mysterious relics, there's the hypersonic TR-3, a black manta aircraft used for reconnaissance, purportedly created by the United States Air Force cooperation with the people of Northrop. Introduced us to the fabled B-2 Spirit-covered bomber. According to some reports, the Astray, the SR-91 project, and Aurora as possible replacements for the legendary strategic Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird aircraft used for reconnaissance, but it's more likely to have functioned as an earlier version of the Aurora project. In contrast to the Aurora, the TR-3A lacked prominently extending wings. Instead, off-shape was created using oversized stealth characteristics, turning it into a perfect black triangle that possessed everything. Its surfaces covered in a unique radio-observable polymer capacities that this polymer, paired with sophisticated electronic recognition technologies, permitted the plane to control its radar appearance. It might resemble the office cylinder or even a small aerial object. This plane's central mystery revolved there were rumors regarding its power source. To use a mercury-based high-pressure nuclear energy accelerated system, this configuration produced plasma, which created an entirely whole antigravity field surrounding the craft, lowering its mass by astonishingly 89%. This configuration has been described by some experts in depth justification for why it included a spherical plasma field known as a magnetic accelerator ring field interference. This technology was far more advanced than anything that at the time seemed possible. The mercury-based TR-3, a plasma, was compressed to an astounding 250,000 environments, with a freezing temperature of this plasma was then 150 Kelvin, reached a startling 50,000 minutes worth of rotations, producing a plasma with superconductivity that efficiently artificial gravity. It appeared that the Black Manta disregarded the physics laws to regulate its motion. The TR-3A's standard thrusters were located at its ends, enabling quick movement at up to three-dimensional speeds of Mach 9. The primary drawback of this, unsurprisingly, the aircraft was the actual elements of the pilot are difficult to dispute. Having said that, what's really amazing about this wonder in a triangle wasn't limited to the USA. During the first part of the 1990s, Belgium took pictures of enigmatic item with four bright, frequently misidentified lights as UFOs, but in almost certainly the Black Manta there is even evidence to suggest that these reconnaissance aircraft were employed during the Gulf War to enable laser guidance for bombers Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk, helping them to deliver targeted laser bombs with accuracy. Additionally, some claim that this enigmatic aircraft was used for the study, essentially the V-2 Spirit's forerunner. It served as a kind of test site in order for aerodynamic solutions to improve performance of the bomber in the future. Important to note is that both of these Northrop created aircraft, but the Black Manta investment was significant, even in light of the extremely costly Spirits that cost over $3 billion at the time. The moment the TR-3A is acknowledged as plethora of technologies. Some even seem to be on the verge of science today. Super powerful fictional characters are among them combat lasers with a long range of ability to alter the environment's climate in a particular radius, and the application of technologies from space at the central elements of its design were obtained by authorities in the wake of UFO incidences we've mentioned, all over the world prior to much of today's talk being able to seem somewhat counter-scientific. Whereas the plot of TR-3 centers on a ground-covered reconnaissance system crafted to function in tandem with the F-117. Things take an odd turn as we dig deeper. Unlike its turbo, the TR-3Bits claims are the TR-3B. Its jet-powered counterpart is purportedly driven by a purportedly designed anti-gravity river recovered from an alien spacecraft that crashed here, is where accounts of unknown aerial phenomenon that appears to be impossible flight paths come together with accounts of actual aircraft stories describing the evolution of the around Operation Paperclip. In the TR-3Bits center, the United States was involved in this program, taking in more than 1,500 German scientists and engineers following the Second World War to carry on developing different defense technology myths pertaining to advanced Nazi emergence of technologies in the post-war era years, and with time, the custom surrounding this platform that defies gravity came involved in allegations of underways, a phrase from German that means amazing tool in the Second World War. Nazi Ministry of Propaganda in Germany used this word to characterize a variety of groundbreaking superweapons, but they are important to remember that most these armaments stayed with the prototype. Either they never arrived at the battlefield, or should they also arrive late, or in such small quantities that they had minimal to no effect on the military, regardless of how absurd the assertions of the TR-3Bits may at first appear, as though there is some proof that backs up certain elements of them, such as the anti-gravity drive. According to believers, powered by the TR-3B would require an enormous power source that is far more than currently available aviation engines are capable of producing. Lockheed Martin does, however, possess a containerized cold fusion patent reactors they suggest might be sufficiently small to fit within an F-16 fuselage. But this tale is not over yet. The sexiest, and some may argue amazing features of the TR-3B could discover an explanation in an author's work. A specific aerospace engineer who is allegedly to be employed by the U.S. at this time Space Force. The U.S. Navy established in 2020 by submitting a number of amazingly non-traditional patents dealt with a variety of subjects, starting with gravitational waves and generators to alter space-time firearms, and they shared a single trait. Dr. Salvatore Cesar Paez, the denominator. Paez has a very interesting background. His official biography states that he served as a NASA graduate research assistant, associate, a highly skilled concepts analyst along with the department, and Northrop Grumman, the Strategic Systems Program of the Navy. As of late reports, he's now a member of the U.S. Space Force, is confirmed as of right now. The Navy has made a minimum investment of $466,000 toward the advancement of DACA since 2017. Paez has been employed. A significant this work has been partially completed, publicly accessible via 3 patents that the Navy initially filed. Invention named craft utilizing an inertial devices for mass reduction date back to 2016. What distinguishes Paez's patents as incredibly uncommon is their public accessibility. Ever since the creation, since the 1951 Secrecy Act, the U.S. military has usually concealed patents from the public eye. But the patents don't give a rationale for the United States that are purportedly in possession of this technology in the 1990s. In addition, there's not any hard data to support that they have materialized as technology. Even today's supporters among these concepts contend that the United States has been assiduously researching, however, these systems for decades, and they could be showcasing their work using patents as a preventative step opposing foreign initiatives like China's, which is seen as almost ready to a noteworthy development of some kind of disclosure To the public alpha, Salvatore Pace's efforts might the possibility of groundbreaking outcomes there is currently little evidence to support his assertions or validate the usefulness of his patents in the scientific community. He undoubtedly has proportion of doubters, mentioning other renowned American stealth plane number. Notably notable is the Northrop Grumman 2 Spirit, but there's an important jigsaw piece that without the perhaps B-2 Spirit had stayed merely idea on paper, which is the Lockheed 117 Nighthawk. How this was developed, the airplane was so tightly wrapped concealment that even some influential Pentagon representatives were not informed regarding its presence. The exclusivity of the F-117 Nighthawk prompted fascinating tales because of the incredibly scant understanding of the plane and the testimonies of individuals who observed strange forms in the sky. The F-19 stealth fighter's legend was born. It was believed to be a myth aircraft of the 5th generation, and it even entered model kits, such as the monogram names such as Hillary Anchester is connected to these sets purportedly produced using images off the aircraft directly from Area 51. The situation only grew more intriguing in the summer of 1986. A real Nighthawk broke. In the state of California, numerous news outlets employed the F-19 model from craft shops to illustrate what the downed aircraft could resemble. This course increased people's fascination with the F-19 legend, inexplicably following these occurrences in which one House of Congressman Ron Wyden made the decision to confront Lockheed's executives to find out why an aircraft that are so secretive to the point of which congressmen were not even aware of. It was being marketed extensively as a model aircraft upon the arrival of the F-117 revealed in the autumn of 1988. Any idea that it swiftly matched the F-19 in every way faded. It's thought that the decision off the false designation F-117, in which suggests that the fighter was on purpose, carried out to hide the actual goal of the future USR-built aircraft for America following the F-117's combat debut. Public after making its initial public appearance, the F-117 didn't take long to establish its capacities in the course of Operation Desert Storm. These covered planes accrued more than 6,900 flight hours, were completed 1,300 sorties, and destroyed over 1,600 objectives. Only F-117 destroyed in battle in the spring of 1999 over Serbia during enemy radar. During the NATO campaign in Kosovo, it opened its sensors. It discovered the aircraft bomb bay doors to let go of its cargo. Thankfully, the pilot made a safe ejection and was saved. And you can view the cockpit canopy helmet of Nighthawks and the War Museum's ejection seat in Serbia. What's especially fascinating is that following the F-117 collision in the People's Republic of China, they made their way to the government of Yugoslavia. Will seek access to debris. That this allowed them to access navigational systems and different temperatures robust engine parts. Nozzly is stated by the former leader of agents at Croatia's military headquarters from China's People's Republic actively investigated the crash scene, where even so, the Americans had been resorted to buying aircraft components from regional farmers in their investigation to find the mysteries of covered technology. Another cunning device is the mysterious beast of Kandahar. This unidentified drone, the RQ-170 UAV Sentinel, or just the Lockheed-developed Wraith. Skunk Works division of Martin Forsyth, CIA, and the U.S. Air Force. Even so, these drones are actively monitoring the hottest places on Earth, and gathering there is still a lack of classified intelligence. Of thorough details about them. So much so that U.S. Air Force doesn't from verifying the RQ-170 Sentinel, in large like a flying wing powered only by one engine, carried a greater takeoff weight than the Rook-3 Dark Star, with a tipping point of interestingly 8,500 pounds. Didn't possess the characteristics of a stealth aircraft that utilizes zigzag landing, sharp leading edges, and exposed gear exhaust from wings. According to certain publications, These peculiarities were a deliberate decision created by designers as a result of uncertain type pertaining to the operational losses connected to its one-engine configuration, and the wish to keep advanced information private. Stealth technologies is an additional aspect that enthusiasts notice was its light gray hue, indicating a possible maximum ceiling. On altitude of up to 50,000 higher altitudes, the United States usually favored using darker hues to improve stealth. This UAV wasn't to Afghanistan, where one-off they were observed in Kandahar International Airport. Making money at the 2011 saw the Beast of Kandahar moniker add among these drones. At least one saw the attack on the compound of Osama bin Laden, leading the way in Operation Neptune Sperto, the dismantling of Al-Qaeda creator of in the same year, as Iran troops were able to seize one of these mysterious devices as it wandered around probably 140 miles from the Iranian border on a reconnaissance trip related to Iran asserted its nuclear program. The drone could be compromised while it was in the air, but American authorities denied this claim, citing the capture as the drone's signal was jammed, causing it to arrive independently owing to an internal issue with its landing and takeoff control system. As this instance signified a noteworthy incident in the ongoing excitement surrounding these sly devices. Winter 2021 saw an American. Additionally, the photographer was able to get on these unmanned aerial vehicles situated south of Air Force Base Edwards not long after Guam reported seeing it, generating conjecture regarding potential improvements such as improved sensors and radar with synthetic aperture for use in operations across the South China Sea. Most current reference to the UAV events take place between September 2022 and in February 2023. Following the RQ-170s mentioned close to Russia during the tense, these drones appeared during the Ukrainian conflict. To be scouting the area over the Black Sea, and they most likely still will. To keep an eye on the current hostilities. Next, we can discuss the Raptor's nest and fascinating aircraft that was a cooperative endeavor between McDonnell from Douglas and Boeing's early days in the 1990s. It became known as the Bird Opry due to its striking similarity from the famous Klingon spacecraft. This aircraft is from the Star Trek series. Yet another covert black project, the Phantom Works, is an internal department of Boeing, accountable for the armed forces. Most covert prototypes were present at the helm of the endeavor. A brief examination of Thielen's resume. Division Vice President Weichmann discloses his prior engagement with Lockheed and the renowned F-117 Nighthawk stealth plane. In addition to the stealthy Sea Shadow vessel with this history, it's noted as unexpected that the Bird of Prey initiative came under the control of this team. The Bird, the most notable aspect of Prey's was its minimal radar profile, which was attained by means of an ingenious aerodynamic design that covered up any holes in the planet. These gaps were covered by pliable casings. As the landing gear, wings, and cockpit fuselage were carefully positioned to make sure that nothing stuck out, adding to its remarkable stealth capacities. In addition to the aircraft's, the engine air inlet was deceptively hidden. Looking at the engine from the front was tucked away far inside the aircraft, concealed even by a sleek canopy. The exhaust and inlet duct for engine air system was redesigned to reduce the sound signature of the Defies. Weichmann's group took this present a revolutionary challenge. As opposed to the conventional approach of creating and testing tangible prototype as them making changes, and after that they used to create new prototypes. They used computer-aided design. The full potential of modern technology computing power to simulate. Utilizing this creative strategy permitted them to manufacture a component prototypes that were quite similar to the final result, differing from earlier techniques. Before the test started, a lot of skeptics questioned whether this unusual aircraft might even be able to remove the chief emissary. Pilot Rudy Hogg made a paper model that resembles a praying bird, and to everyone's surprise, this model turned elegantly over onto its back prior to taking off into the sky in 1996. HOG was able to effectively raise the real prey bird into Thesky's maximum velocity of 300 miles per hour, and the 20,000-foot ceiling was not reached any records. But the intention wasn't that. Boeing specialists had no intention of surpass the combat aircraft of rather. They set out to demonstrate that it was feasible to produce operable stealth planes. The project's cost was approximately $67 million, and astonishingly even amount less than the F-35's current price. Lightning. This accomplishment by the Raptor bird changed the guidelines for designing aircraft and building, causing a revolutionary change within the sector. But you won't come across the prey bird tucked away deep within Area 51. Alternatively, today you can get a peek off it at the U.S. Air Force National Museum Force in Ohio's Wright-Patterson, returning to the triangle of black airplane. Let's discuss the Aurora, which differed slightly from the TR-3A. The mysterious aircraft is thought to attain a maximum elevation of 135,000 feet, traveling at about 90,000 feet. At these rates, it would need either a ramjet's initial scramjet or a distinct pulse-based propulsion system. Wave explosion generator. For this pulse wave, the detonation engine consumes less fuel explosions to drive the airplane, producing a recognizable contra-like a donut ring. What sets the propulsion is distinct in that it functions in the explosion of supersonic fuel, making it quicker and more effective than conventional jet engines or rockets. Engines are what make the aircraft's special qualities would allow it to take off over the currents reached fences against aircraft, while providing a range extended beyond the SR-71. The main objective of the Aurora was bridging the gap between spy and espionage satellites and slower aircraft, or drones. It might operate either autonomously or with one or two pilots. The details are unclear given the limited information available. Some even argue that the name Aurora actually referred to the B-2 stealth bomber program, and not a separate aircraft. The U.S. government maintains that evidence supporting the Aurora is circumstantial or speculative. Anonymous experts believe that advancements in technology have finally caught up with the ambition that launched the program decades ago, and the Aurora plane may still be out there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, you'll enjoy this other on appearing on your screen right now as well, so click on it and watch. See you there.